Hello everyone, welcome to Science and Tech series with Dr. Vivek Rana. Hope you are doing well. Topic for today's discussion is from nuclear energy. We'll be decoding how nuclear submarines work, how are they better than the conventional submarines, and what are their disadvantages. Because we all know the AUKUS agreement has generated lot of buzz in this week due to its long-scale geopolitical ramification. The AUKUS is trilateral security alliance between three powerful countries, Australia, UK and USA. Now, the main highlight of this security alliance is that UK and US are likely to help Australia in building 8 powerful nuclear powered attack submarines, which are considered to be the best in the business when it comes to the naval supremacy. So this decision could have is likely to have a significant impact in the geopolitical landscape of Indo-Pacific theater, and China is ruffled, and if France is also feeling the heat because it was negotiating nuclear submarine deal, you could say conventional submarine deal with Australia from 2016, which has received a setback because of this alliance. So moreover, this is a geopolitical topic, but we'll be focusing entirely on just the science and tech part of it. So coming to the history part, the nuclear submarines we can say were started building around 1940s, which is called the dawn of nuclear age, and Australia was the front runner. It built Nautilus submarine. Now currently there are just 6 countries in the world which have designed and operated, you could say, nuclear submarines in the world, and they should not surprise you. They are the P5 members: USA, Russia, France, China and UK, and also the sixth nation happens to be India. So these are just handful of countries which have nuclear submarines, and the tilt is still toward the western world because USA single-handedly has 70 nuclear submarines, which is more than, you could say, UK, France, and we can even say Russia joined together. Russia has around 29 nuclear submarines, whereas you could say France has 8 and UK has 11. So we can say it's a domain which is being dominated by the US, and that's why it is asserting its supremacy. Now, in the background of the South China Sea and the frictions being encountered by a lot of countries in the Indo-Pacific, it was prudent for Australia to go for this agreement because it is likely to be beneficial in long term. Now, first of all, let's just understand that how these nuclear submarines work. Just like we have covered in our class lectures that nuclear reactors are based on controlled nuclear fission reaction, in same way these submarines derive their energy from controlled nuclear fission reaction, and the fuel should not come as a surprise. It happens to be uranium. Now we all know that natural uranium is not a good nuclear fuel. It can undergo fission, but it is not a good fissile material. So enrichment is needed to make it a good operational value. So enrichment, we all know, is separating uranium 235 isotope from uranium 238, and the minimum enrichment required for to operate an operational nuclear reactor is around 3 to 5%, but in case of nuclear submarine, this enrichment has to go around almost 50%, and we all know if you enrich more than 90%, you are likely creating an destructive atomic bomb. So the nuclear submarine enrichment ratio is going to be around 50% for if you want a state-of-art nuclear submarine. Now coming to the advantages part. First of all, these nuclear submarines don't require refueling. Once you have operationalized a chain reaction of a controlled nuclear fission reaction, it won't require any fueling. It can function smoothly for at least 30 years. So there is no, you would say, pressure of multiple refueling required. The second biggest advantage is that they can stay under water for prolonged periods, even months, whereas a conventional submarine stays there for few days. So you can say the nuclear submarines have better stealth features. They are not likely to be detected by the enemy with the advanced surveillance capabilities as well. So they are likely to be add more muscle power to any naval power in the picture. So you can say the 6 nations which are currently operating, they have a geostrategic advantage as compared to the other nations which rely on conventional submarines. And also they have better propulsion system and are considered efficient. In simple terms, it can be said that they can maintain a high speed for prolonged period of time while traveling as compared to conventional submarines. Now coming to the disadvantages part, now nuclear submarines, they are costly, you could say, technology. They require billions of dollars are spent on their construction. Even the current deal, which is thought to be around $100 billion plus. So we can say not every country can afford these nuclear powered submarines. And once again, I would like to re-emphasize, nuclear powered submarines are not same as the nuclear attack nuclear submarines, because they are just being powered by nuclear submarine. It's not that Australia is violating some NPT or any international agreement. They are just controlled fission reaction nuclear operated submarines. That's another story, that it's easier to upgrade them as compared to the conventional submarines, and they can carry nuclear missiles in future. So coming to the another risk which carries with them is that there is a risk of misuse of technology, since it's a dual use technology, and there is a risk that more countries, if start upgrading to this technology, they might be tempted to just empower themselves to our nuclear weapons. And the other is operational problem is you require a skilled manpower to operate these state-of-art nuclear submarines. So handful of countries are you could say equipped to deal with this. This is what we have in store for today's lecture on nuclear submarines. So make sure you follow the developments regarding the AUKUS agreement, because it can be asked in your examination, a comparison with the Quad alliance, which happens to be another security alliance but with a more plural, or you could say broader objectives. And from nuclear energy perspective, make sure you revise what exactly is fission, what is fusion, what are the various fuels used in it, what are the components in a nuclear component reactor, because a match the following, incorrectly pair, or multiple statement question can be asked from this section. If you have any specific query which has not been addressed in this lecture, feel free to connect. I will take up your genuine queries. So I hope this small session was useful in some way. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.